guys, welcome back with me, Eka, and now I want to talk about a toxic mother is more dangerous than an absent father. Kids growing up in a complete family is not necessarily better off than kids growing up with single parent. But the issue I'd like to talk about is not just about an unsupportive parent, but a toxic one. A parent that not just shut down your ideas, but become the curse of your existence. It is a difficult journey growing up in a single parent family with kids getting the impression they are getting half the affection, feeling left out amongst their peers, and most importantly, growing up without a mental image or memories of a complete family. Parents, on the other hand, who have went on their separate ways for various reasons, are doing their very best to make up for the lost opportunity their kids are going through. It's not an outcome everyone wants, but still an unfortunate situation. It is never an easy path for everyone involved, but with serious effort and commitment, things can still improve, save for the family with a toxic parent. Regardless of what the situation may be, home should first and foremost be every child safe zone. A place they can run back to no matter what happened. But what if home would become a battlefield for you? Everyone is fighting their own battles. No point adding on the burden and growing up in a single hand why they are unable to exert control over their adult child. Often becoming often by this action and sometimes aggressive when they are denied control. Additionally, a child's boundaries are not recognized, and some parents believe they can simply open the child's bedroom door without knocking, calling them without regards to their schedule or work, and simply saying anything to the child in a private or in public. But if the child start to fight back and limit their boundaries, parents will react with aggressively, guilt trip the child, or become insanely passive aggressive, maintaining a stranglehold of the family dynamic. Aside from the insurmountable task of trying to fight for the boundaries, children have to contend with parents undermining them. No one is perfect in every sense. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. But when a parents dig their children's vulnerabilities, such as their academics, hacks, or any achievement by covering up as a joke, they are asserting their dominance over the child. But when a child reacts to these jokes, single family is already in uphill fight, but growing up with a toxic parent can destroy you emotionally and spiritually. I have a handful of friends who grew up in a toxic environment where their parents are poisoning them day by day, cursing their existence. It really is alarming to see this happening, yet it is a reality. I've seen parents berating their children's capabilities, shutting down their dreams, and they blaming them for the family's current situation. We now grow up in a ever-competitive environment where parents must balance the thin line of wanting the best for the child and pushing the child beyond the limit. Modern times have created hard parental pressure, which in turn creates a generation that goes through epidemic level of anxiety and depression. substance abuse, then have become an escape for some, while others may turn to gang association and violence, which then creates a more difficult situation to an already fragile relationship in the family. Children will always be the child in every parent's eyes. It can be a sweet gesture on how every parent enjoys the occasional stroll down memory lane about carrying their beloved child as a baby, but when should they let go and allow their children to become adults? The child can grow up in a difficult environment when parents actively discourage them from becoming an independent entity by showing autonomy and exerting authority. Children are not allowed to grow up, and decisions made as an adult will often be criticized and undermined, often being harassed by parents until the child changes their decision to appease the parents. Toxic parents tend to demand the same level of control they had over the child's life they did when the child was young, and these parents are unable to comprehend. But when a child reaches to these jokes, they are labeled as being flawed for not having any sense of humor. As a child grows up to face the world, it is understandable if they have fears in overwhelming life, hurdles such as a new work environment, new cycle of friends, and even stepping into a relationship. But what about fear of their parents? If a child is doing everything they can to put themselves in a position where their parents cannot hurt them physically or physiologically, or when they jump in fear and experience a rush in adrenaline when they receive a phone call from their parents, it is a remnant of a toxic childhood. So, how should we work with saving ourselves from a toxic environment? Maybe the first step will be to recognize that we are better than what we are labeled as, not as abusive as they make us out to be, and most importantly, we are of equal footing as everyone else. Children that have grown up in toxic environment will have to start with detachment, not physically maybe, but at least on the emotional level. It means to reach in a proper manner against such toxic action, not talking in personally and not feeling responsible for such parents' behavior, feelings, wants and needs. When it is time to grow up, it will be important to set boundaries and limit their influence over decisions we make as adults. Some parents may enforce knowledge and their opinion about life, but it will take wisdom to discern what is good for you and what is not. A toxic relationship with friends may be easy to walk away from, but walking away from parents is a tall order for most people. That's why some choose to cut off their relationship with family due to unresolved anger issues and childhood resentment. It will be a big decision to make, but it helps to reduce any emotional tension we may feel while growing up. I believe that it is important we all grow up into healthy human beings and not being molded in an abusive environment. So it will be good to detach oneself from such an environment to recharge and slowly learn how to respond to such action in a better way. Instead, we all do get lost in life for various reasons, and thus it will be important that we all find a coach in life to help us see the bigger picture and guide us through it smoothly. One day, as we all face our own demons, ask yourself this: what are you afraid of? Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.